Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Hey, if anybody is in here, please let me know that you can hear me. Put something in the chat and let me know that this is actually working. I can hear you. Hey, Corey, how you doing? We're gonna give people a few minutes to hop in here. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing. Normally, when I do things like this, I let you all know well in advance, and I've got it all planned out. And not that I don't have things planned out here. It's just that I kind of had. Hey, Ian, how you been, man? I haven't talked to you in a while. How's things going on the other side of the world? Corey, let me know in the chat where are you coming from? Where are you in the world? I'd love to know. We're just gonna give folks a few minutes to get in. It feels like I'm talking to a professor. Yeah, but how many professors wear the Mickey the Mickey? Yeah. All right. Corey's coming from Virginia. I'm gonna be in Virginia doing an event next month. I managed to come through Virginia a few times, at least three professors. That's funny. Lovely weather. Oh yeah, you're over in the UK, right, Ian? I'm remembering that correctly. How's your channel going? Corey, do you and I know Ian a little bit. Corey, do you upload videos regularly? Let me know what you're up to, and then we'll give folks a few more minutes to see that we're on here, and then I'll start the thing. Um, just want to make sure that audio actually loud enough. It looks like a really low signal here on my, does that make it any better for you? I'm not sure. Love the Disney vids. Hey, appreciate that, man. I still haven't finished those. My life got too crazy to keep up with vlogging that much, and so I have like three more videos worth from the Disney trip, and it's just I'm like, should I keep posting them? It's been like 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. It was November of last year, but the wife, she was like, "You ever gonna finish those Disney vids?" I don't think she cared about my YouTube channel. I think she just wanted to see them herself. So, all right, let's get this kicked off. I see we got a few folks in here. I'm sure some more will come in, join on the replay. Um, so Yes, I will keep going. I will finish the Disney vlogs because the cool one that I really haven't uploaded yet is that we did the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party for the first time ever, which was an absolute riot. That was a huge amount of fun. So the goal for right now is I wanted to hop on and do this as an open Q&A, something I'd like to do more of. You all know, from those of you who've been following my channel for a long time, that I dropped off the map for a little bit last year. I couldn't keep up with it, and I'm at the point now where I can't commit to more than a couple of videos a month at most. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what um, the right way is to continue engaging and keep this community going. And the thing that's been most popular, most successful on my channel for years has really been audio tutorials. And even though like audio work has nothing to do with what I do for a living or how I make my income, it's kind of my passion. You guys can see all the stuff in the background, and this is still new. We just moved into this house a few months ago, and I'm still working on setting up this room. Turn this a little bit. All these guitars are actually going to go up on a wall shelf right here on this wall, and I'm about to put some bookshelves on the walls behind me here and get all my books up and stuff. So I also need to finish putting up some sound, not soundproofing, but sound absorption. I need bass traps in this room. Hey, Ricky Pete from Los Angeles. Audio tutorials, appreciate that very much. Ricky, let me know in the chat what kind of work you do, why you've been checking out the audio tutorials. So Speaking of audio tutorials, this Q&A, you guys can, in the chat, ask me anything you want about anything. You can ask me about video, about audio, about my career as a professional speaker, my former career for 10 years traveling the world as a magician, the work that I've done with the US troops. You can ask me about giving a famous TEDx talk, about being, writing a book and going through that process. You can ask me literally anything you want except how magic tricks work, because I'll just tell you to Google that or look it up on YouTube. um, and then I'm going to let you guys know at some point during this video, I am launching finally something that a lot of you have asked for and mentioned that you'd be really interested in, which is an actual online course for Audio 101 for video creators. That's the title of the course, Audio 101 for video creators. I'm going to offer to you, Ben, is that you? Gambit 896, that sounds familiar. I think that's Ben. Hey, Ben. I'm going to be offering this as a pilot program. I'm going to launch the course on, I think, August 5th. And it's going to be a 3-hour, I think it's going to be about 3 hours, a fully comprehensive series of videos that takes you through everything you need to know about doing audio for video work. Hey, Mount Community College. Oh yeah, thanks so much. When was that? We got Dogman 123. Dogman, let me know what your name is so I don't have to keep calling you Dogman. Mount Community College. You'll have to remind me when I was there. Was I giving a speech or doing a magic show? And I'm curious. So anyway, this online course, in it, I'm going to talk you through and show you with visuals and write in the audio programs with the waveforms on the screen and everything. Hey Jesse, in the audio course, you're going to learn how to choose the perfect mic within your budget for your voice, your environment, and your project, right? And that could be 3 different things, depends on what you're working on, right? So choose the perfect mic. I'm going to teach you the optimal and most budget-friendly method for recording your audio. Again, I'm going to present you different options and make sure that for any situation you might be in, you can learn, if you want to, if you want to use an audio interface like I am, which is kind of the expensive, complicated route. A lot of you guys, when you ask me, how are you getting such amazing audio in your tutorial videos? It's because I'm using a complicated, expensive route. But you don't need to do that. It's just my choice because I went with a background in audio. And as I've showed you in videos before, you can use your phone. You can just use your phone with the mic on your phone to get terrific audio if you know the best practices. So we'll talk about the optimal and most budget-friendly method for recording your audio. We will discuss how to... Somebody just asked me, would you walk around naked all the time if you were the last human on Earth? I don't think so. I'm not that comfortable naked, but that's a different thing. How to set, it's not an embarrassment thing. I don't feel comfortable. If I was the last human on Earth, there's all kinds of stuff still out there. So no, I don't. Ian says not here, it's too cold. I'm with you, man. So we're going to talk about how to set the audio level for any mic on any recording device and get the cleanest signal possible, even with smartphones or low-end cameras. And cameras are the worst. Cameras have terrible audio drivers, and a lot of you are constantly commenting on my audio videos. I'm trying to do this stuff you're talking about, but I'm getting all this extra noise, and a lot of times it's because you're using a camera with a bad audio driver. So I'm going to show you the way to get the best and cleanest signal, even when you have that situation. Fast and easy ways to sync external audio, optimize your editing process so you can edit audio visually, which a lot of people don't realize, and it's absolutely the best way to do it. So we're going to definitely do that. How to avoid, cutting off words and breath noises and sentences and everything. We're going to do simple subtractive and additive EQ with free and built-in plugins so that you can fix common audio problems in post. This is going to be a huge portion of the Audio 101 course. How to fix common audio problems by using free and built-in EQ, equalization plugins. I'm going to teach you subtractive and additive EQ. Peace, dog man. We'll see you later. See you later. Come back and check this out at the replay. Then we're going to do the major part of the end of the course is going to be all about compression. Compression is what trips up almost everybody. Whenever you guys ask me on a video, hey, how do you get your audio to be even? How do you get it to stay level and not have these crazy audio jumps where it gets way too loud or way too quiet? That's compression. And compression is something that most people cannot figure out on their own no matter what they do. It is not intuitive, but it's not difficult either. And I'm definitely going to show you how to use compression, because compression is what makes most of the that high quality audio sound that you hear, that really professional sounding audio. Compression is the trick. And then we're going to deal with best export practices for online videos. What settings should you have for your audio to export your videos for online? So it's going to be like a 3+ hour comprehensive tutorial. And that is this video course, Audio 101 for video creators, that is going to go live on, I think, August 5th. Now, here's the thing. We're going to do a bit of Q&A now. And then at the end of this Q&A, I'm going to give you guys a promo code. The course is going to be, it's a $97 course, but I'm going to give you guys a promo code for $60 off as a pilot program. So anybody who's watching this, and I'm going to do a Q&A again tomorrow, anybody that watches one of these, uses the promo code, is going to get it for just $37 because I'm doing this as a pilot program. And if I don't get at least 10 people who sign up, I'm going to refund everybody's money and we're not doing it. If I can't find 10 people in the 12,000 people who've subscribed to this channel, then it's not worth doing. And I'll just, keep on keeping on. So you guys will get special access. The first 10 people who sign up, for this course are going to get a free 30-minute phone consultation with me. I normally bill out at $500 an hour for my phone consultations. That's what I do with folks. I help business people and everything like that. Ian's only got 10 subscribers. So this is a good value. First 10 people who sign up will get 30 minutes with me on the phone to ask me anything you want about audio, video, life, business, absolutely anything at all. And the first 50 who sign up will get a digital copy of my personal success book, 3 New People. You'll get a digital copy of that, plus a discount code if you want to pick up a physical copy with bonus wristbands and stickers and bookmarks and all kinds of good stuff. So that is that's all the exciting stuff for you guys who are tuning in and following along and might be interested in upping your audio game. So now I'm going to open it up to you guys. Q&A. I'm going to stick around for 20, 30 minutes and answer really any questions you've got. And this whole thing actually, so put your questions in the chat, anything you like about anything in my world, audio, video, TEDx, being a magician, travel, becoming an author, whatever, being successful as a freelancer for 15 years, really anything you might be interested in. Now I'm going to actually get it kicked off while you guys put some questions down there. With a question that started this whole thing, which was from Corey. Corey, are you? Yes, there you are. Corey Kingbreaker. That is exactly the question that kicked this all off. How do you talk with that flow when you go online, not just live, but even in a video? You're asking, are you scripted? Am I using a script? So right now, I hopped on this live with no script and no planning. An hour ago, I didn't plan on going live on YouTube today. I thought, you know what? I've got a little bit of time. Wife took off to go run some errands. I've got some time. You know what? Let me hop on here. So the question is, how do you talk with a flow, whether you are or are not scripted? Practice, 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 practice. I spent 15 years. The last 15 years, I've been on stage in front of live audiences. For 10 years, I was a full time magician, traveling all over the world, and I've performed for thousands and thousands of audiences, from as small as 3 people at a time to as big as 1,500 at a time, and everywhere in between. And so, what you learn as a live entertainer is how to react in the moment, consistently within character. So there's two things going on here. First, my live shows as a magician and now my live presentations as a speaker, they are scripted. And I mean, they are word for word scripted. Like an hour magic show is scripted word for word. A 90-minute speaking engagement is scripted word for word. I rehearsed hundreds and hundreds of times to get that script down. And the key to rehearsing a script is that you need to rehearse it not until you've memorized it. That's just the start. Once you've memorized it, then you need to keep rehearsing until you can do it without sounding like a robot. Because you've heard somebody who's memorized a script and they need to remember their next line, and then I have to do this thing, and it gets really jittery and really robotic sounding. But when you rehearse your script so far past the point of memorization, you internalize it. It becomes a part of who you are. And there's the authenticity comes in here a lot, which is that I don't do a magic trick that I don't genuinely believe in. And I don't mean believe it's really happening, but I have to believe in the trick, and I have to believe in what I'm trying to convey to the audience in that moment with that trick. Same thing as a speaker, same thing as a YouTuber. When I'm teaching you, I don't make videos. The reason you guys haven't seen me making a ton of videos lately is because I haven't had videos that I thought were worth making. I'm, you guys know the YouTube channels that, listen, they're doing it for a living. They make a living running a YouTube channel, but you can tell that they're gaming the algorithm. They're playing to the algorithm. They're creating the same video 400 times in a row, slightly differently, so that because they know that people will jump from video to video, video. The issue with that is that I need to feel genuinely connected to my material. I need to believe that it's worth your time. And if I don't really believe it's worth your time, I'm not doing it. And so when you have an authentic approach, when you deeply believe in what you're talking about and you believe that it's valuable to your audience, it becomes much easier to speak because it's a part of who you are. It's not just a script. So rehearse, practice, 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 script everything, practice way past the point of memorization. And more importantly, genuinely, deeply believe in what you're talking about. And the key to believing in what you're talking about is to only talk about things you believe in, right? Don't go talk about things. Don't make videos about something that you don't actually believe in. Don't make videos about something you just think are going to get you views or get you clicks or get you affiliate links, right? If you stick to what you genuinely love and care about and believe in, then people, then I can do what I just did right there, which is search for a second for my next thought. But I'm not losing your interest because you know that I'm here and I'm present and I'm engaged and I'm with you right now, right? So I hope that answers your question. It's a tremendous amount of practice, Corey. Keep on keeping on. You're going to be really bad at it for a long time. I was really bad at it for a long time. How do you become a great speaker? You become a bad speaker, and then you become a better speaker, and then you become a better speaker, and eventually you become a great speaker. Um, Ian, who decided on purple for your walls? That is an excellent question. Who decided on purple for my walls? So this is a new house, but you guys remember the studio that I was in when I first launched my YouTube channel had the same purple on the walls. That was a house we moved into, and that room that I made into my studio in that previous house had been like a 12-year-old girl's room from the people that we got the house from. And the walls were already purple. Um, they were already purple, and I loved the purple. And I decided not to change it because I thought it was such an interesting color on the background. So, and it worked out because my websites as a magician, and my business cards were always purple. And so I was able to start adding the branding to it by getting pop sockets that matched the walls and everything. So when we bought this house about 6 months ago and moved in, and I decided this room was going to be my studio, it was a light blue on the walls. And right away I said I have to put the exact same purple, because I got so used to this purple for a couple of years in that other house, that when I walk into a room and the walls are this color, I feel like, okay, now I get to do my work. Like, it was a creative safe space for me. It made me get in the, get in the swing of, get right into the swing of it. So yeah, so I repainted the walls purple, but it was a happy accident the first time, and just rolled with it. And follow up on that, Ian. Does it affect skin tone? Not if you're using lights properly. So I've got two lights on me right now. I've you know I've got this one over here, and I've got one that I can't reach from there. And these are all daylight. Okay, so I've got really powerful daylights right on my face. Now this is a live video on YouTube, right? So like, I have no idea. This is just my webcam. But when not at all when I'm filming, with real cameras and doing filmed videos for YouTube. No. Ben, how's the new studio coming along? Yeah, so as you can see, so here's what happened. I made a bunch of changes. So obviously I colored the walls. This house we bought, the house was built in 1961. Original hardwood, red oak, beautiful throughout the entire house. 100% of the house, except for the kitchen, which is tile, was hardwood. It was worn down to the bare wood. So we had the entire house refinished, all the hardwood refinished in the house before we moved in. Extraordinarily beautiful. But I decided to have this room carpeted for a couple of reasons. I prefer the look of hardwood. I miss having hardwood visually on camera for my videos in here, but we did a couple things with the carpet. First, I practically live in this room, right? It's just one room of my house, but it's my home studio. It's my office. It's where I do my creative work. It's where I do my professional work. Everything that you can't see here looks like an office. Everything back here looks like a creative space. And so I wanted it to be comfortable and homey and warm. We get brutally cold winters in Connecticut, so I definitely wanted it to be warm in the winter. But also, in my previous studio, which had hardwood, the reflections, the audio echo it was driving me crazy for years. And since I'm doing so much podcasting now, and a lot of narration and voiceover kind of stuff, I really, really just wanted to kill a huge source of reflections. So I put down carpet. Now here's the thing with carpet. I had sound absorption material put in underneath it, which helps eliminate some of the bleed into other parts of the house. So if Lindsay is home and downstairs in the living room or something, it doesn't bleed through quite as much. So that's great. But one of the issues with carpet absorbs reflections, but it only absorbs mid to high level frequencies. It doesn't absorb any frequencies under about 200 hertz. So all the bass frequencies still come through the room. And so what happens when you put carpet into a room, that's a big room. It's a 13 by 13 room. It's a pretty big room. But what happens when you put carpet in is that all the mid to high frequencies get absorbed, but the bass ones get through. And so the room becomes overly bassy. It like accentuates the bass because it's taking out all the mid to high frequencies. And so I knew before I even did it that I was going to need to compensate for that, which in 6 months of living here, I still haven't had a chance to do. I've been on the road. I've been traveling and touring, as you guys know. And the answer to how do you balance out that problem is you add bass traps, big, thick sound absorption. One's going to go right there on the corner. One's going to go back on this corner. And I'm going to have one right in front of me that you can't see here on this. There's a wall that's in front of me that I've left open for one. That's why these two corners are weirdly empty, because I know I'm putting bass traps there. So I'm going to get 3 bass traps in the room. Bass traps absorb like about 200 hertz and below. And so by adding bass traps to absorb the low end frequencies, I will balance out the frequency absorption by getting the low end from the bass traps, the mid to high from the carpet, and then this room will be better. For the last 6 months, I've had to scoop out a lot of bass, a lot of low end frequencies from all of my audio to compensate for that. Hey, Diana, good to see you. I'm glad you caught it too. I'm doing kind of a Q&A here. I'm be on for another 5-10 minutes. Ask me absolutely anything in the world, and then when you watch the replay, you'll see me talking about the audio online course that I'm launching. So as long as you're popping in, let me give that quick shout out right now. I'm going to put it in the. Let's see. All right. If you go to the link I just put right there in the chat, you will see that's my kind of merch site on Gumroad. You don't need to worry. I mean, buy whatever you like, but you don't need to worry about anything else on there. But if you scroll down and you see the Audio 101 for Video Creators course, that is where you can put in the code, which I'm going to give all of you right now. Boom, it's right there in the chat. And if you put in that code, when you add it to your cart, when you put in the code, you should get $60 off, because this is a pilot program that'll bring it all the way down to $37. And as I mentioned earlier, for those of you, the first 10 who sign up will get a free 30-minute phone consultation with me. We'll schedule a time, get on the call, ask me anything for 30 minutes, personalized about your business or your life or audio or video, anything you want. You just want to call and talk about, I don't know, black tea, then we talk about black tea, I guess. I don't know. You want to ask me how I feel about Picasso, that's fine too. And then the first 50 who sign up for this course will also be getting a digital copy of my book, 3 New People, which I got to tell you, you guys know that Seth Godin is one of my top heroes. He was just on my podcast, which was awesome. Seth not only endorsed my book, which is amazing, but he just recently put out his 2019 book recommendations to his millions of blog readers. And he included my book alongside like rock stars and other heroes of mine. So very, very cool. I think you guys will get a lot out of this book. And it might seem like there's no connection between me doing an Audio 101 course and this whole career that I have making a living talking about human connection and human engagement. But the truth is, if you do video work, you know this. The audio is how you connect with people. Your voice, and making sure that your voice comes through truly and clearly, and you don't have those jumps in audio and all the things that when they're done right you don't even notice. The voice is how you connect with people in a video medium. And so learning how to optimize and really, really nail your audio is definitely part of human connection and human engagement. And I'm thrilled to be able to help you all with that. So yeah, you can go over there and pick up the course. And like I said earlier, if I don't get at least 10 signups by August 1st, I'm not doing it at all, and I will refund everybody's money instantly. I will still do the 30-minute consultations for the first 10 people. Okay. If you sign up, I will still do it. And if I don't get 10 people and we don't even do the course, I will refund your money and still do the 30 minutes. All right. Fair enough. So I'm doing this to help people, but I got to make sure that it's worth the time. I think it is, though. So, okay, Diana, thank you for the congratulations on the book. Curious about the Tamron lens that you were trying out. Yeah, how did you like it? Okay, so I picked up the Tamron 17 to 55 2.8. The reason I haven't made a review video on it yet is because I don't know how to review it. I have used it for photos. I have used it for video. Nevin, you guys know Nevin if you watch my channel. He's used it to do video and photos of me when I've been on stage. It's good. And I can't tell if the issues I'm having with it are because I'm using a third-party adapter. I've got a is it a Movo adapter, I think? I don't have the official $200 Canon EFM adapter. Um, so there's a few issues when using the autofocus is supremely slow when using that Tamron lens, Diana, with the adapter. Now, again, I'm using a third-party adapter, so at some point I may need to pick up the official Canon adapter and see if that changes the game. The lens itself is awesome. The 17 to 55 is the equivalent of essentially what a 28 to 70. Your kind of standard lens. The 2.8, the f2.8 is like it's good, but on a mirrorless camera that's got a crop factor of 1.6, 2.8 is good. It's not great. Like indoors, I still find that I end up at 1600, 3200 ISO, sometimes 6400 ISO, which on the Canon the M series, I mean, once you're up to 32, it just the 3200 it falls apart. I mean, to be honest, sometimes when I'm at 1600, I feel like the image has already fallen apart on the M series. I'm still using the M6, but I haven't heard anybody say the M50 is any better in terms of ISO performance. So to the extent that I get an extended range and a consistent 2.8 all the way through, I love it. Natural light, I love it. Indoors, it's good but not great, and the autofocus in general is just really slow. I find myself using the manual focus much more often. Um, but it has the optical image stabilization, which when combined with the M6's digital stabilization is actually really good for B-roll. So I haven't made a review because I don't want to review something and think the lens has a problem with autofocus when actually it's the third party adapter. So hopefully that answers your question. We got a few folks that have been. Oh yeah, let's see. What'd you say here? Gotcha. I have both the Canon and Viltrox adapter, even the speed booster. I've never tried the Movo. M3, M6, M50. You're not missing anything in the ISO area. Yeah, I made that video when the M50 came out, saying I don't understand why anybody would upgrade to the M50 if you already had an M5 or M6. If you had an M3, I could see upgrading to the M50. Now I have moments where I wish I had the M50 because I'm just kind of tired of doing the bracket for the microphone on the side. I'd love to have the fully articulating screen, but the M50 doesn't have as many of the buttons. It doesn't have the EV comp dial that I love using. So I'm like, there's a real trade-off there. I like the idea of using 4K even on manual, to be able to crop in to 1080 to be able to get kind of a zoom in post or recrop in post. But and the M50 hasn't come down far enough in price for me to justify the upgrade from the M6. I really love the M6, so I've been really just really happy with that. Um, so, do you guys have any other questions about literally anything in the world? I'd love to see you all in this audio 101. This is something that it's not like this is going to be some huge moneymaker, some huge part of my business. But I wanted to do this as a pilot program just to see, is it worth the time? Let me see. Ricky, similar to YouTube photographers who accept subscriber images and edit them to illustrate what can be done, can you take a 1 to 2 minute clip of someone's audio and show a tutorial on how you'd handle it? You mean just, Ricky, on my regular YouTube channel or as part of the course? Like I would totally take a submission. Yeah, if that's something you guys would like to see, that'd be fun. I enjoy watching those videos when folks take I love the ones where people send in art submissions and they kind of tweak their own art or like graphic design. I love that stuff. If you guys want to send me submissions, let me see. Do I have a Gmail account that I can ask you to send me stuff that's not going to flood my regular? Hey, Ben, thanks for the pre-order, man. Thank you for getting the ball rolling. I appreciate that. Let's see. If you send Mhm. Oh, I don't want to get my flooded. Ben, you need to find a bunch more people. um, if you want to send send it to my podcast email. Here we go. Let's see. Can, what did you just ask me? Somebody just asked me, "Can you hit a fat dab?" I am too old to understand that sentence. So if you want to rephrase that, by all means, I'm sure it's very meaningful and very cool to you. But I don't know what "Can you hit a fat dab" means. Um, Here's my email in the chat. Anybody, if you guys want to send me like a less than 2 minute clip of audio, like give me a link to like it in Drive or Dropbox or something. Don't send it in the email, but give me a link in the email. Put the subject line, um, um, like audio for YouTube or something like that. Yeah, I'll do a video or two where I take your clip and edit it and tell you what I would do with it. Make sure you send me the raw audio, not with your processing on it. That way I can yeah, I can really take a look and give me any of the context. Like tell me where, how it was recorded, what the mic was, what the camera was, where you were when you recorded it. Like, give me the context. And yeah, Ricky, that'd be great. I think that'd be fun. I would definitely do that. Ben, thank you for tagging me in a tweet about the course. Much appreciated. Um, that's great. I would, yeah, I'd love to do this course. I got an audio background. I love audio. I'm really passionate, obviously, about it. Do you know what a dab is? This thing? Um, I love audio, and that's why I launched a podcast finally after years of doing YouTube. It just kind of I don't know why it took me so long for it to hit me that audio was a better fit for me than YouTube. Like I enjoy YouTube, don't get me wrong, but for me there's something about just hearing someone's voice and especially a conversation. If you've never listened to my podcast, by the way, folks, the podcast is called One New Person. Um, you can just go to onenewperson.com. As you've noticed lately, did that not become a link? Um, the podcast is really I think you'll really enjoy it. And the next episode, second episode of season 2 launches a week from tomorrow, a week from Monday, and it's my conversation with celebrity YouTubers JP and Julia of Healthy Junk Food. I don't know if you know them, but they got a 2 million plus channel. They're super successful YouTubers. They're a riot. And I went to college with Julia way back in the day, and it's been really fun to see what she's built with JP. And so a week from Monday. So definitely go to onenewperson.com and subscribe to the podcast and check out some episodes. I think you guys will love it. It's really neat. And it's great to be able to explore, you know, it's great to be able to explore human engagement, human connection, personal success in a really intimate way. The goal for me with my podcast was that it would feel like you were eavesdropping on a private conversation. I really, for the most part, what I wanted it to feel like was that I was just having a private conversation with somebody and you were just eavesdropping on it. I'm able to achieve that tone better when I do in-person interviews than when I have call-in, because the delay when you're doing the call-in makes it feel a little bit more like an interview and less like a conversation. But if you haven't listened to my kickoff for season 2 this past Monday with Seth Godin, just seriously, it's incredible. The conversation's amazing. Also, season 1, episode 4 with Adam Krutinger, who is a successful YouTuber. He is a public school art teacher, a puppet builder and a puppeteer, a magician. He runs a podcast. He is a jack of all trades and master of most. And I have a great conversation with him about art and pursuing your passion and artistry and things like that. So I think you guys will love, One New Person, the podcast. I'm really excited. And let me tell you, there are some incredible guests coming on later this season. I've got some amazing people lined up. I've got legendary book editor Peter Gazzardi. You may not know his name, but you definitely know Stephen Hawking. So Peter Gazzardi was the editor for Stephen Hawking for A Brief History of Time, one of the most successful, pop science books ever. He was the editor for Susan Cain's Quiet, one of the most successful personal success books of all time, self-help books. He did a ton of Deepak Chopra books, all kinds of great stuff. So he's coming on. I got Shama Hyder coming on. She's the CEO of Zen Media, Forbes 30 Under 30, one of the number one digital marketing experts in the world. She's awesome. She came on. I've got folks coming on later this season I can't even tell you about yet. It is very exciting. Fahad asks, from which country are you, sir? I am from America. I am in Connecticut. It's a very tiny state in the northeastern part of the United States. Corey, have you seen my other question? Let's see. Oh yeah, Diana, it is an amazing lineup. Seriously, like if you haven't listened, I think you guys are going to love the podcast. I know I lost a bunch of subscribers on my channel here on YouTube when I started posting the podcast, but as far as I'm concerned, they can just go away. That's fine. Corey, I have another question. How do you focus? I have trouble focusing. I've grown not having a work ethic and everything done for me. So now I'm trying to fly. It's been a huge problem for me. This is a really good question. It's a really interesting question. How do you focus? So you say you've grown not having a work ethic and having everything done for you. I'd like to have you flesh that out a little bit more in the chat. Give me a little bit more context on that. But in the meantime, focus, unless you have clinically, ADHD or something like that, which many people don't. Some do. My wife is a therapist, so like I know all about this stuff, right? Or at least she does, and I hear a lot of good things. Unless you have a clinical issue with that, in which case I'm not a good person to ask. You should see a trained counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a therapist, right? But for most people, when they think that they have ADHD and they really don't, it's what you said. It's Corey. It's a lack of focus. And here is the key to focusing. Multitasking is a myth. Multitasking is a myth. We have fooled ourselves into believing that we are good multitaskers. Not only are we not good multitaskers, we can't even multitask. It's been suggested that only 2% of the population is even capable of doing it at all. And even they are not that good at it. The people who are actually capable of multitasking, if they did each of those tasks separately to completion, they would do both tasks or all tasks better, more effectively, and more efficiently than doing them at the same time. And that's the people who are capable of doing it. The rest of us, including me, can't multitask at all. Multitasking, there's no such thing. What it really is switching very quickly back and forth between two or more tasks. And so this has been well studied and well researched. And so what you realize is every single time that if you're working on something, right? You're working on your video, you're writing a script for your video, whatever it is, right? You're editing. Every time you check that Facebook message, every time you go check an email, it takes your brain, your brain gets out of the flow of what you were doing, and it takes you a little while to get back into that flow once you get back. And so the key to focus is to eliminate distractions, right? Get away from things. And one of the ways, and I know that I'm making it sound easier than it is. I understand this is not trivial for people. This is not easy for people to do, especially when they're having trouble focusing. So Oh, good. You're responding, Corey. Basically, things if they needed done, dishes, chopping wood, paying for my own things. It was done for me. Now I'm 21, and it's not how the world works. Okay, first step to fixing this problem is recognizing it, and you've already done that. Self-awareness is a huge step. So pat yourself on the back, give yourself a big thumbs up. We will all give you a big thumbs up in the chat for being 21 and already having the self-awareness to realize that you are not good at this and you're having a problem with it. You are way ahead of most 21-year-olds by simply recognizing that you're struggling with this. So, what's the answer? The answer is what you're going to do, Corey, is I want you to start scheduling your time. Okay, so tomorrow is Monday, and you got to figure out what you got to do on Monday. You're not just going to write a list of things you have to do. You're going to go 9 a.m. to 9:30, right? Breakfast, whatever. 9:30 to 10. Check Facebook, right? Say if you like Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, whatever the thing is that you like doing, put that in there. But it's in there for a specific block of time. From 10 to 11, you might have laundry, right? From 11 to 12, whatever you have to do, your life things, your personal things, and your business things. I want you to write the list out in 30-minute or 1-hour increments. And when you start that task when the time is, and you stop that task when the time's up, and you go to the next thing, that's it. You check it off as you go, and you go straight through your list for the day. I do this every day. Every single day is planned out of my life in 30-minute increments, the whole day, okay? Except for a vacation, which I take almost none ever because I'm self-employed, and people get this wrong idea about being self-employed, that you just can do whatever you want. No, I work 7 days a week. I've taken 2 vacations in the last 10 years, okay? 2. One of them was my honeymoon. So, what gets scheduled gets done. Okay, you're going to hear this a lot out there. It's kind of a platitude, but it's really true. What gets scheduled gets done. When you put it on your schedule and you start it when it says and you stop it when it says, you'll find that you're able to focus better because you're going to build into your schedule the fun things that normally distract you. You like playing video games? Let's say you like playing video games. 3 to 4 o'clock, it says video games. So 3 o'clock, you have to play video games, and you play them, and at 4 o'clock, you have to stop. But there you go. You take the things that you want to do and the things that you have to do, and you schedule your life that way. So I hope that was at least somewhat of a helpful answer. I guarantee if you do that for a week, it's going to change your life. I mean, just as simple as planning carefully, it's going to totally change your life. I think Diana is chiming in here. Every year I take a digital fast to stop everything and be able to just read or snap out of the social media lull. Yeah. And I'm just as guilty of it. When I read now, and I read a ton, right? I read 3 to 5 books a week, just constantly reading. When I read now, I used to be great at reading. I'm bad at reading now because we have so many distractions. So when I read, I turn the computer off, I put my phone on airplane mode, I put my phone in a different room, and I block out 30 minutes. I'm reading from this time to this time, or 1 hour, I'm reading from this time to this time. And I'm reading, and I got a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm taking notes or highlighting or whatever I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, and for what it's worth, there's a chapter in my book called How to Use Your Ears, which is my masterclass in connecting with people and engaging with people in a meaningful way. And it's EARS is the system. Or is it? No, bridging the gap. Hang on. Bridging the gap. How to use your ears. Come on, Brian, you're live. You can do this. Here we go. Here's the chapter, How to Use Your Ears. This is one of the most valuable things in the entire book. EARS, A stands for avoid distraction. It's the second step in mastering human engagement and building a network of people who trust you, because that's the key to success in this world. It's not, key to success in this world is not the piece of paper you get from college anymore. It's not talent. It's not even who you know. It's who you meet and your ability to connect with them. Because if you can weave a community of people who trust you, if you can show up for the people in your life, the people you already know, your friends and family, your colleagues and coworkers, as well as the random strangers you meet on a daily basis, and you can look them in the eye consistently and say, I hear you, I see you, and I'm here for you, you will not believe the opportunities that open up. And that's what my book is about, making the most of your daily interactions so you stop missing amazing opportunities. And of course, first 50 people who sign up for the course, the Audio 101 for video creators, Audio 101 for video creators, will get a digital copy of my book for free, as well as a discount for purchasing a physical copy with bonuses. And the bookmark has the ears method on it, the free bookmark that comes with the signed copy. So let's see, Colton, thoughts on Cardi Mundi buying USPCC? I don't know what that question means. Why am I so old? Colton, can you rephrase that question for me? Thank you. Please and thank you. Colton, yeah, please rephrase that question. Corey, thank you so much for all these great questions. I'm gonna stay for about another 5 minutes, and then I got to get back to my work because I allotted an hour total for today. So I have to get back to what I need to do. Thank you. Do you guys want to do more of these? Like, should I pop on once every other week and do a Q&A? I can't always run a full hour like I'm doing today. I can maybe do 30 minutes, but pop on once a week or every other week and do a Q&A. Would this be something you would enjoy? Let me know. Say yes, exclamation point, or well, if you wouldn't, you probably wouldn't be here anymore. So Corey, let's see. Another aspect is dealing with depression. That's a whole different conversation. Yes, Corey, I too struggled greatly with anxiety and depression right around your age, from about 19 to 23, somewhere right around there. I went through a tremendously difficult time in my life. Talk therapy was the best thing that worked for me. I did not go the pharmaceutical route. Tried them, didn't work for me. That's me though. They work for lots of people. Talk therapy works for lots of people. There's a lot of different things. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. My wife is, but it's not for me to talk about. Clinical depression is different from being sad, right? So if you are worried that you have clinical depression, we definitely want to make sure that you see somebody, a trained counselor, a licensed counselor, to talk about that. What I can tell you is this: anxiety and depression are at record highs in human history. Last year, there was a study from Cigna, Global Health Service Organization, that was a landmark study on loneliness in America. This was a study in America, but I'm willing to bet we can probably assume this is pretty similar other places. So in America, we had this issue. 20,000 American adults were surveyed from 18 years old all the way up to the greatest generation. So Gen Z all the way up and everybody in between. Anxiety and depression, loneliness is at record highs in human history. And it's not because of social media use. The same study that found that loneliness is the highest it's ever been found that there is no statistical correlation between social media use and loneliness. Now that surprises a lot of people, but here's the answer. The antidote, which they found, which is almost so common sense, it's ridiculous. The people with the lowest levels of loneliness are those who had frequent, meaningful in-person interactions. Frequent, meaningful in-person interactions. Here's the reason that there's no correlation with social media use. It doesn't matter if you spend 8 hours a day on social media, as long as you know when to turn it off and how to have a conversation, a meaningful conversation in person when you're not on it. So you can spend as much time as you want on it, and it's not going to impact your loneliness as long as you know how to have frequent, meaningful in-person interactions. That's not to say that there aren't other issues with social media. There are lots of issues with social media. But as far as loneliness and depression goes, there doesn't seem to be a statistical correlation. Now they are always studying this stuff, and that's going to, I'm sure, continue going. Okay, I've got two more minutes, and wow, so many people are popping in. I will definitely keep doing these. This was a lot of fun for me. I hope for you as well. One more time for the folks who just came in super late, please watch the replay for more of this. But I'm launching my first online course on August 5th. It is Audio 101 for video creators. It is a 3-hour comprehensive beginner's course on mastering your audio, nailing your audio for your videos so that you stay engaged and connected with your viewers. So everything from choosing the right microphone and audio recorder to picking your environment to syncing up external audio with video, budget options, more expensive options, editing tips and tricks, how to leverage free plugins, basic built-in and free plugins for EQ to fix common audio problems like it's too harsh, it's too boomy, there was a lot of road noise, I was in the middle of a crowd and you can barely hear me. And also compression, how to do basic compression to even out your audio so it doesn't have all the ups and downs and peaks and valleys and get that really professional sound. Yes, for Audacity, yes, everything that I'm going to be teaching in that course will be things that you can use with the most accessible, most common stuff. Whether you are, yes, Audacity is free. So, and whatever, audio software. So if you're using any video technology, any video editing software, it will have the basic versions of all this stuff built in for free. And if you are using some video software that doesn't have audio controls, you can take your audio into Audacity for free and deal with it and go back. I'm teaching strategies, not techniques. All right. I mean, I will be teaching techniques, but like, does it make sense the difference? If you know the strategy, you can apply it anywhere using any version of any software. Techniques and tricks are usually specific to the software, and I don't want to give you stuff that's specific to any particular software. So yes. Oh, thank you, Ricky. Killing the advice and perspectives. Continue live chats. I will definitely do that. I really appreciate all of your support over the years. Some of you are new. Many of you have been here for years and years and years, which is awesome. Oh, Adam, Adam's exploits question. Hangouts going away on YouTube. What do you recommend for live stream panels? Yeah, Zoom. Zoom seems good, but it's pricey and everyone will need to subscribe. I use Zoom. Nobody needs to subscribe. You send them a link and they just can click that link and they don't have to be part of Zoom. And I used Zoom for free for years. I only upgraded to the paid version a few months ago when I started running high-level master classes where I needed to be recording 6 to 10 folks at the same time. I occasionally run a master class where people join me for 12 weeks, usually freelancers, people self-employed, entrepreneurs, and people, come into those groups, and I organize and facilitate like a 12-week masterclass to really push forward your business and get lots of creative input. And I use the paid version of Zoom for that, but you really don't need the paid version. So yeah, I would love to see you guys in the audio thing, the audio online course. Audio 101 for video creators. You can go to brianmillermerch.com. That's the fastest way to get to all of that stuff, brianmillermerch.com. And if you use the code that I'm putting in the chat right now, you will get $60 off of the regular price for this pilot program. It'll bring it all the way down to $37. And I think for 3 hours of comprehensive audio tutorials and strategies, plus the first 10 folks get a 30-minute consultation call with me. The first 50 get a free copy of my book. All in all, I think $37 is a phenomenal deal for how long it would take you to scroll through all the audio tutorials on YouTube and get past the loads of nonsense that's out there. Because the reason you guys like my tutorials on YouTube is because they're straight and to the point, and that's what this course is going to be. But I need 10 people to run it at all. So I think I appreciate we've got a couple folks who signed up, but I need more. And if I don't have 10 by August 1st, I won't be running it. So please do jump in there. Ben, I appreciate you jumping right in immediately on that. You can always count on you. I don't know what the guns were for, but okay. Thank you everybody for being here. It's awesome. And always remember that our world is a shared experience. Have a great day.